This is Severe MMA, and we're alongside the Thundercat, Craig White. Skittle?
Well, I'm going to take him anyway, so.
Fair enough, and I'm not going to argue with you. Look, my first question is 46 fucking pounds? Really? 46?
Genuinely. Now you see why we didn't tell you, because you'd have just got too excited and your mind would have been even more blown than it is now.
Funny you say that. Funnily enough, Dave did tell me, and my mind was fucking blown for the 2 weeks until it came out. Look, in all seriousness, people are talking about weight classes. They're talking about the dangers of cutting.
Yeah.
You're not a stupid guy, and you come in. You're not, and you come in intelligently, and you cut weight intelligently. Is that the difference? Is it just intelligent weight cutting, or are you dicing with danger?
It's a bit of both. I mean, there's an element of I've done it enough times now. Like, all in all, like I've had 22 pro fights. Probably done about 30 weight cuts to welterweight in my career, despite the fact of having fought 30 times at welterweight. I've had so many fights, fall through, pull outs, where I've still done the cut, even at like counting semi-pro level kickboxing fights and stuff. So I know how my body works, especially in the last 18 months, like going back down to welterweight, found out what worked the first time, stuck at it, and all it is now is an improving factor of it. So my refueling gets better, which I think, well, in my head, I proved that with UFC. Like, I felt completely fine, aside from obviously insides completely killing from the weight cut. Like, physically had the best energy I've ever had. I felt nice and strong, nice and comfortable, and I feel after watching back my fight, that's what I was showing. Like, I was in control of Magny. I remember the look of shock on his corner's face when I had him up against the cage, and I just looked down and they're like, shit, he's not moving him. So yeah, I mean, it comes down to knowing how your body works, but you have to have a professional mindset. You have to be like, well, I've got to make weight. Like, because if you take it from the thing of this is your job, like for me, it's not. It's like, it's a professional hobby which I get paid for, which is very nice, because I have a full-time job as well. But if you're not going to make weight, you lose, 30-40% of your purse you can do? Well, there's half your income gone. So if you think that from a job point of view, that's like not working for half a year. So if you've got a family to support, you've got a house to pay for and stuff, well, realistically, that's not sustainable. So from that aspect, you should be like, well, you're going to make weight. But also, we've got to lead by example. There's a lot of things in news about weight cutting, people missing weight. And with the notice you get, if you can't make weight, yeah, you should go up a weight division. Even if you're like that little bit over, like the only exception to say is Romero, who's like 2 pounds over, or not even like 2 ounces. Who's like, it's just nothing. So, like with that, that's an exception. But when you're like 3-4 pounds over, you've done something wrong. Especially when you get people coming in that have had short notice. Like even if it's a month they've still come in, they make weight. They're there to lead by example, prove a point, and that's the reality of it.
What do you reckon to a 2 strikes and move up, or 3 strikes and you're cut for weight? Is that something that would that make a difference? 2 strike, you failed twice, move up, or we're not offering that. We're not offering you that fight. Would it make a difference?
Maybe. I think everyone seems to think that the solution is more weight classes, but it's not. Because already in my head, you got right. You get rid of 170, or you keep 170, and you have 165, 175. Well, me and Lou Long spoke about it. What would you go down to? Oh, I reckon I'd do 165. Could you? And I'm like, well, Lou probably could. I couldn't. But I would still want to try. And 170 is my body's limit. I know that. But you're there like, oh, I could still try. And it's not more to get that edge. It's just, well, you could fight. I don't know, you just have that mentality where you're like, oh, I could do it, and you just want to prove to yourself you can. And that's one of the reasons why I was able to make weight for UFC, because I was like, I could do it. Of course I could do it. Which
the next UFC fight, nothing announced yet, nothing in the pipeline, but in a perfect world, how quickly would you like to get back into that cage?
I'm ready to go in as soon as they need me. Ideally September, October time. As long as I've got 6 to 8 week window to work towards, get my training in, get mentally prepared, get my weight cut sorted. That's all I need. So as soon as they want me in, I'm back in.
It's a division full of killers, the welterweights. Where do you, realistically, with a full camp, I'm not asking you to call someone out, but where do you look to fit in? What kind of names make sense to you?
I honestly can't give any names. There's just too many there. I mean, obviously I want to fight someone that I can go and put a good performance against, but I felt comfortable against Magny up to the point to get caught, which I'm sure a lot of people say. So I know that I fit in, I can slot in well there. I just need to basically work my way back up. In all honesty, I'd love to work my way back up to rematch when I've had a bit more notice, because I think even with 2 weeks more notice, that fight would have gone completely differently. If my if I was in better condition, like physically, it would have gone a completely different way. Still may have lost, but maybe got 3 rounds out of it.
Gonna ask a cheeky question. If you could give advice to Darren Till on the weight cut, what would you? Because both you guys, again, he prides himself. He's the 200-pound gorilla. You're cutting 46. You're 216-pound gorilla. Was it just bad luck for him, or is there advice you'd give?
I think based on the circumstances, it'd be a bit uncalled for to. So obviously saying a video of my weight cut would have made it look easy. That's all in good jest.
Yes.
But obviously based on the circumstances, you can't plan for that stuff. You can't account for it. But one thing I would say, not necessarily for him, but don't go bragging about how heavy you are a week out or so if you're not going to make weight, because it does make you look silly. People question it and they worry you're not going to make weight, and then you prove them right. But again, he would have made weight if he didn't have to be up all night and he didn't have stuff going on. So it's the reality of it, and that's when real life happens, and you can't take it into account.
It is always a pleasure catching up with you, and I know we will when you've got something else announced, because you're not cutting another Skittle for you. Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you, mate.
Best of luck in training. We look forward to seeing you compete, hopefully October.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.